Here we have some more questions on 5.1, so let's just get started. What term describes similar structures found in animals with a common ancestry? Okay, so basically what they're saying is, let's say we have a bunch of animals. So here we have a human, we have some kind of bird, some kind of, maybe this is a frog, this is a whale, this is a bird, okay? So we have a bunch of animals. Now, they're saying, let's say we have these animals, and a long time ago, they had a common ancestor. So they had an ancestor that had this specific kind of that they all originated from, okay? And because of the different environments that this animal got put into, it slowly over generations evolved into this particular organism that was best suited for this environment, okay? So now they're asking, now what describes this fact that they have similar structures with a common ancestry? So we can see this is the common ancestor, and then although the structures are slightly different, they are similar. Notice, right? We have this. We have the pentadactyl limb. Although they're different, they have a common structure. Look at the blue. Look at the colors, right? The colors that I'm using here, they're matching, okay? There are slight variations, but overall they have a similar structure. Now, what describes this, okay? So this is called homologous, okay? Homologous means, you'll see here, up here, let me show you. Homologous structures is a type of evidence for evolution because it shows they have similar structures than each other, but slightly different due to evolution happening and depending on the environment. Okay, so we call this homologous structures, meaning same structure, different function. Homologous meaning same sort of structure but different function. Okay, so yeah, homologous. Inherent, again, that just means what you get through inheritance, like genetics, so this doesn't apply to this particular question. C, characteristic. No, that's not the word you use. And analogous, I guess this will be the tricky part. Analogous is the opposite of homologous. So homologous means similar structure like these, but different function. Like the human arm, although it's similar in structure to this frog, they have a completely different function. Now, analogous means having the same function, no, the same function but different structure. So for example, a bird and an insect. Okay, if you look at the structure of a bird and an insect, they have the same function. They're both meant to fly. If we look at a bird and what I mean by insect, I mean like a flying insect. They will have a similar structure. I mean a similar function because they both fly. But if you look at the structure, they're actually completely different. They have nothing alike. So we call that analogous. Analogous. Okay, so it's gonna be A here. Quite tricky because they're trying to trick you with listing random words here, such as inherent and characteristic, that don't apply to anything. But that's just something that you're gonna have to get used to with IB. Like they like to try and confuse the hell out of everyone. So what characteristics describe homologous structures? So again, the same thing here. Homologous structures. It means they have the same ancestral origin but may have different functions. See, that's true. They have the same origin a long time ago, but they have slightly different functions due to evolution of the environment that they were in. So it's going to be A. So it's not B because they're saying the same ancestral origin and always have the same function. That's not true. They have this different ancestral origins. No, they have the same ancestral origins. They have different ancestral origins but always have the same function. So again, that's not true. They should have the same ancestral origin. A, so the answer's got to be A. Okay, now here's a simple one. What is evolution? So again, I emphasized this before. It is very much worth just to remember the definition of evolution. They pretty much pop it in here the exact same way you get taught. Like if I show you here in the video I made, you can see the definition is just straight from the book. The cumulative change in heritable characteristics over generations. So the gradual change over a long time, generations, of a specific heritable, meaning genetic trait, such as the one example I used was this giraffe. A long time ago, giraffes had really short necks, and basically over time only those with the longest necks survived out of the bunch, and so only those with the longest necks passed on this heritable characteristics. And so over a long period of time, the giraffe's necks got longer and longer. I mean millions of years, okay, until what we have today as a giraffe, okay? So it's going to be B, a cumulative change in genetically controlled characteristics, so heritable characteristics of a population. So it's going to be B. The rest of them, I guess they'll just be random sentences. Let's check here. A measure of the relative survival and reproductive success of an individual. Now, again, that's not the definition of evolution, because this is the official definition. Which of the following are used as evidence for evolution? So basically, you need to know a few pieces of evidence. Let me show you. So you got to remember 3 things that prove evolution, or help prove evolution. So 1, the fossil record; 2, selective breeding; and then 3, homologous structures. So all of these 3 you got to remember as evidence for evolution. So let's see. 1 here, they have homologous structures, and 2, selective breeding, and then 3, overproduction of offspring. So that one's not correct. So that one isn't one of the 3 you need to remember. So it's going to be 1 and 2. So it's going to be A. So again, I like I said, the purpose of these videos is for me just to go run over some questions and help you, guide you how to answer them a little bit. But really, if I have to explain in a lot of detail all of these, it would take ages the video, so I don't want to make it so long. It's rather just to test what you know. So if you really don't understand what I'm talking about, I really encourage you to check out the teaching videos that I made. Okay, they should help you out a lot to be able to answer these questions more easily. So one more here. What are examples of homologous structure? So again, you can see this homologous structure is a super popular topic. Now we know homologous structure means same origin, so same ancestor, but different function. So let's see here. The wings of bats and butterflies. So again, bats and butterflies, what's the purpose of their structures? To fly. So it's not going to be this one because they have the same function. Okay, but their structure is different. They don't have the same structure at all. So it may seem to you like bats and butterflies will have the same wing structure, but if you look at it, if you Google some images, you'll notice that they have completely different structures. They don't have similar structures at all, although they're both made for flying. So that's why this one is wrong. Now B, the fins of fish and whales. So again, same function. They're both made for swimming. Okay, so we want to find one that has a different function. So the hind limbs of frogs and grasshoppers. Again, same function. Frogs are meant to jump. Grasshoppers like to hop or jump. So it's the same function. It's not going to be this one. D, the forelimbs of primates and penguins. Okay, so primates is basically like monkeys, humans, these kind of things. And we can see that the forelimbs, so our arms, have a different function than that of a penguin, right? A penguin is used to swim and stuff like that, whereas a human is used to pick things up, move things around, climb, whatever. So it's going to be this one because they have a different function. So it's going to be D. So that was it for this video. I will make sure to make another video where I do a few more questions. I really encourage you to do as many as possible. You can see how they repeat. Like this homologous one keeps coming up over and over again. So the more you do, eventually you'll run out of questions and it'll just become really, really simple and predictable what's on your test.